No, not that.
Are you working?
There we are.
Not yet.
Not yet. Why?
Hello.
Dessert.
Vibrational blessings and divine harmonious loving greetings, beautiful souls.
He was going to say something. No?
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
It's okay. All right. So we're live, and when you're live, you can't control everything around you. So we are here at the West Wetlands today, Saturday, February 22nd, 2020, and we are here again at Nature's Gathering, and we have one person with us today, which is awesome because I love the one-on-ones when we can really go and enjoy after. So here's our friend Jesse, and
A beautiful soul.
yes, and he's just amazing. I love his genuine heart, which brings out my genuine heart, so he gets to see the real behind the scenes with Michael and Alice. Good luck, Jesse. Just kidding. Oh, anyway.
You know, what a great way to share about genuineness, because when you're live, you can't edit, you can't go back, you can't rewind,
I can't redo my hair.
You can't overlap.
And
There's
you know,
Patty.
And you know what?
Patty
Hi,
Pierce.
Patty. And you know what I want to say that
Here
about?
he is, Patty.
Hi, love. How are you?
Yeah.
Okay. I do want to say something about that. It brings back memories of any of you who have been following us for a long time now. When Michael and I first started creating our videos on Facebook or live, however you want, well, before the lives, we would videotape our videos. Oh my gosh. Remember those hilarious days?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't like my hair. I didn't want the wind. Michael didn't want the noise.
Start over.
And we'd stop, and then
No, stop. It wasn't good. Just start
and
over.
then, Michael, that's not the way. And then we'd go back again. And so then you see the finished product, but it took like forever. And then when they started these things with live on Facebook, Michael said one day, you know what? We're just going to go live. And I'm like, wait. Because at least when we recorded, I could say, Michael, wait, stop. Or he would say, no, maybe, whatever, right? But now with the live videos, the beauty of it is you get what you see.
Yeah.
So sometimes what you see may not be very pretty, but it's genuine. And whatever you see in Michael and I, it comes from our hearts. It comes from us always wanting to help others with our humble story. That's all it is. Everybody out there has a story. There's not one of you that doesn't have a magnificent story that you're a hero in. That you were able to bring yourself out of the worst, that you were able to come out of something that you thought there's just no way. So everybody has a story. There's no greater, no lesser. Everybody's story is unique. The only thing that Michael and I decided to do was share our story because of its uniqueness and coming together as a couple, not just as business partners. It just makes it crazier and a lot more fun. So why we are here at the Nature's Gathering, and why we do what we do, and why we are who we are, and why are we so genuine and raw, and why does Alice sometimes provoke things in you that's like, oh my gosh. This is the fun part. When you do these kind of videos, that's all it is. It's just us being us and sharing with you. So back to Michael.
Oh, no, Patty said something. I can't really see it.
I saw someone up there say hi, Bobby.
She says, hi, baby.
Oh, hi, baby.
The sun is out. It was raining here too.
Yeah, it was raining here as well.
Morning, yeah.
It's beautiful.
It smells good when it rains.
Last night, actually. I think it was.
Yeah.
I believe it rained.
So let me start sharing.
So
Go
one
ahead.
thing I do desire to share is to remind you guys, well, because we weren't going to make it about Samadhi, but we can't talk about nature if we don't include meditation. Because we need to slow our senses. We need to slow our fast-paced lives. And so, first of all, I'd like to welcome you to Samadhi Sea of Wisdom Meditation School, both online and in person, here in Yuma, Arizona, where it's not about positivity, it's not about negativity. It's about authenticity, it's about rawness, it's about realness, it's about genuineness. It's about you watching this video. Not the you that you think you are, not the you that you've been programmed to believe, not the things that, the illusions that you believe, not the chaos in your life. I'm talking about the genuine you that is waiting and willing and courageously just desiring to come out. And I did a video on genuineness earlier, and genuineness is not easy. It's not easy to be genuine, but it's so worth it. So we're here at Nature's Gathering, and the thing about the reason why I was inspired to come out to basically broadcast and feature and interview nature is so we can bring nature into your home, because that's our guest. Actually we're nature's guest, right? Because nature's the star. And why is nature the star? Because nature is so, I'm going to say it as, maybe some of you are going to take offense to this, but as disrespected as it is, as misjudged as it is, as unappreciated as it is, because we glorify almost everything else but nature. We glorify if somebody has the best car, somebody has the best home, somebody has the best outfit, somebody has the best, whatever, but we don't glorify hardly ever nature. And it reminds me of when we went to an event called Wasted.
Oh, yeah.
And they talk about how much food we waste and how much we neglect nature, and how the world is really, paying the price for that. I mean, we have basically robbed and sacked and abused nature. And our intention is to remind people how beautiful nature is, how amazing nature is. Because nature...
Oh, look at that hummingbird. Nature always feels to me like I come back home.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this is a place that I could just let go. I forget about that concrete world that keeps us in cubicles. I forget that I know we need to be responsible, and we are. And I know that you are in this world, but you're not of it.
Yes.
So when I come to nature, me personally, it gives me a place where I can just let go of all those boxes we're put in, all those labels. This is where...
And it's the most genuine, because nature is just nature. Nature is not putting on a mask. Nature is not trying to be something else. You plant a seed of a certain tree, it's going to give you that tree. You plant a seed of a certain plant, it's going to give you that plant. You plant a certain seed of an herb, it's going to give you that herb. However, you need to know how to respect and benefit from nature, because there are plants that can kill you if you don't know what plants you're working with. And there are fruits that if you don't pick them at the right time, they're going to taste sour when really they're very sweet. So nature really, there's a saying, if you studied nature, you would know yourself. The same thing as if you studied yourself, you would know nature, because it's all interconnected. So the more you spend time with nature, the more you are spending time with yourself, because nature reminds us of that untapped, unmasked, unfiltered, uncontaminated essence of who we are. And I mean, this beautiful relationship that we have with nature, because Patty Pierce wanted to talk about relationships, and
Yeah.
Rebecca Garza, Jillian Ray Millett, thank you for joining us. The relationship that we have with nature, because I tell you guys that I come and ground, and I don't want to keep telling people, oh yeah, I'm having fun grounding, if I don't share about what grounding is really about. Because we get our protons, our electricity from the sun, from each other. We're all, these frequencies. But we hardly ever tap into to awaken the electrons in our bodies. This is, without getting too much in depth, the electrons in our body are hardly ever stimulated, hardly ever activated. And by grounding, instantly your electrons start charging, and that's why you feel at home, because we are energy beings. We are divinity. We are luminance. We are vibration. And when we tap into nature, we instantly awake that. It's not like, oh, it takes 10 times you coming out in nature, as soon as you start grounding, as soon as you take off your shoes, if you just become still, you'll feel different. I mean, even people that don't know about how this works, they say that their inflammation goes down, and I'm not a doctor, so I can't promote any medical conditions or anything or diagnose. But one thing I will tell you is I've been around long enough where I've seen different people in different circumstances and situations and events where, eating the right foods, juicing, meditating, breathing, grounding, it works. It works. And we might not be able to prove it because it's not being tested. Because like I said, we're so lost as a society that we think we gotta, be able to tangibly prove things instead of tapping into the intangible, the unseeable, the ungrabbable. Like, we can't grab it. Excuse me for grabbing your phone.
Okay. I'm just
But
sharing
there is a presence within a presence that we are here to tap into, and that's why we desire to bring you guys into nature, because we were doing this on Sundays, but we don't want to take away from people from their place of worship, their place of fellowship, their place of community. If you go to church, that's awesome, but I'm going to tell you, and you might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but I'm not going to be ungenuine to be afraid of saying something, is the greatest church, the greatest temple, the greatest sacred divine space is nature. And when we build temples and we build places that take away from the reverence and the divinity of nature, we're actually taking away instead of adding to. So if you do have a place that you go to, add to that place by spending 2 or 3 days in nature. It doesn't take away from your place of worship. It doesn't take away from your religion. It doesn't take away from your belief. It doesn't take away from your truth. On the contrary, nature was here before we were here. Nature has been here for millennia. We have interfered with nature. So, the intention of nature's gathering is to remind you to give a little reverence, to give a little love, to give a little honor to nature. It's not going to take away from you. I guarantee you. Let me repeat that. It will take away from you. It'll take away the chaos. It'll take away the sense of feeling alone. It'll take away the sense of feeling like you're not good enough. It'll take away the sense of feeling like you're not connected. It'll take away the sense of feeling that you're sick. Because when you connect with nature, it's going to enhance your being. So, wherever you're at, let us know where you guys are at. Let us know what part of nature you're at. And just do us a favor. Share these videos and let people know how important nature is. Because nature is so important that it's here to serve us. But this relationship is we got to serve nature. Because when we breathe, we give out carbon monoxide and we give it to the plants. And what do the plants give us in return? They feed off carbon monoxide, photosynthesis, and they give off oxygen. They're blessing us with oxygen. The more we take away from nature, the more we destroy trees, the more we increase the carbon monoxide on the planet. But the more we love nature, the more we plant trees, plant gardens, plant trees. Start planting, start giving back to nature. And we're going to increase the oxygen on the planet, which is really increasing the energy on the planet. Well, not really increasing the energy on the planet, but it's really enhancing the energy that's always there.
And there's Daniel, same hello, Daniel Bowman.
Oh, blessings, brother. Love you, man. So, do any of you guys want to share anything? Because if you guys would like to join us physically, if you're here presently in the physical, if you guys want to join us physically, we'd like to hear from you whether you're online or here physically. So, you have any questions, bro? You have anything you want to share?
At the moment, I don't.
You're good?
I'm good.
How are you feeling? I mean, what is your experience with nature? Do you feel a difference when you come out in nature?
Yeah, I do.
Especially when you work long hours, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Well, I work outside, so sometimes
Yeah.
I don't mean to put you on the
But
spot.
that is a different kind
Is
of
that
nature,
okay?
isn't it, though?
That's fine.
Isn't
I'm
it?
sorry?
That is a different kind of nature, though, when you're working and you're outside.
Yeah.
You're working, but you don't take the time to really see because you're so concentrated on the work that you do.
Correct.
Right.
And you know, don't take this the wrong way, but sometimes, you know, especially like Yuma, nature can be. It can be in the summertime, and then you know, work outside. So it can, but it's still great. You know, I get to work outside. You know, it's I'm not stuck in a building all day. So you know, it is nice. You know, and like this time of year, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice in the morning,
Yeah,
beautiful during the day.
We'll see how it goes in the summer, huh?
Yeah.
In the 120 degree heat, because
Yeah.
we're out here in Yuma, Arizona, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's like another important part that what you just mentioned, Jesse, is like it's crazy and amazing how our bodies are. That it's a micro macro. How people that come from the cold, it's like devastating here.
Yeah.
And if we go to the cold, it's devastating for us.
Right.
But our bodies can tolerate and acclimatize to anything. So it's really like I say, nature's our greatest teacher. Like when we think life is so challenging and life is so difficult, but if we embrace it, we acclimatize to it instead of shocking ourselves or of just, you know, ignoring it because we shock ourselves that way, you know, like, oh no, this isn't my reality. Let me just go cover it up with this. Let me just go do this. But then it gets worse and worse and worse. So my point is that when we slowly allow our bodies to just not tolerate it, but get accustomed to it, then we will start embracing and seeing the potentiality of what our bodies, hence our minds, the brain, hence our hearts, hence our souls, are really designed to achieve anything, to overcome anything. Basically. So yeah, it does get 120 degrees, and at the same time, like I've said this many times, is the sun is not good or bad. The sun just is. But if you don't respect the sun, and you think you're gonna be like, you know, because you're tough and you're gonna sit there in 120 degree weather saying, you know what, I'm good. 3 hours later, you're not gonna be there too happy much longer. Because that 120 degree weather, that heat, because really, okay, I'm gonna go somewhere else. You ready?
I don't know if
Because that heat, yeah, and then we're gonna go into meditation because that's why we're here.
exactly.
But that heat is not really heat. Our senses think that we're feeling heat, but really it's concentrated energy that manifests as heat, because what it does to our cells, it makes them shake, it makes them vibrate to a higher level, that it creates heat in our bodies and we think the sun is hot. Meditate on that.
Yeah, I'm going to meditate on that one because it
Because-
sure feels hot to me when the car.
No, it feels hot, but what it is, it's a simple way of explaining this is, if you think about something long enough, you make it more real. So,
Like when you say I'm hungry.
yes. So, if you take that microscope and you put it on a leaf, what does a microscope do? It condenses the energy. And when it condenses the energy, you're taking friction and you're condensing it to such a small space that it creates fire. But we don't burn alive, do we? It's just a degree of energy. And when it's night, the degree of energy goes down. That's why we get tired. That's another class for another day. But here's my point. The sun is not good,
Junior high being in science, I don't.
right? The sun is not good or bad. The moon is not good or bad. It's designed to serve all of creation. But if I don't respect it, then I'm going to see the bad side of it. If I respect it, I'm going to benefit from the glorious side of it.
Okay.
Because everything has polarity. So just like the moon, on a full moon, there's so many good things happening. Events are planned and everything is planned according to the full moon. But at the same time, there's a lot of suicides, there's a lot of deaths, there's a lot of murders, there's a lot of, bad things happening. And it's just our degree of how we see ourselves is how the moon is going to magnetize that energy. So sun is electric, moon is magnetic, and that is the balance that we have, because that's why we have day and night, because it balances our energies. If we had just one, we wouldn't be balanced. And that is why we say in Samadhi, it's not about positivity, it's not about negativity. That sun is just being genuinely a sun. The moon is just, sun is being genuinely a sun. The moon is being genuinely a moon. But if I'm not authentic with myself, then I won't benefit from the authenticness of what the sun and the moon were designed and destined to be. So when you're not genuine with yourself, you won't experience and enjoy the genuineness of life. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah. You okay? Yeah.
Always. Even on the bad days.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Well, they're not bad, but the challenging days.
And that's
because it's not easy in the moment, but yeah. Great.
Okay. So that's what happens at I love you too. So that's what happens at Samadhi. See, when we came up with this, if you want to call it idea, because it's not original from us, of course, is that this world has operated that way. There's supposedly a heaven or a hell, whether it's a good or a bad. There's always an up and down, but it depends on where you are in your life is how you're going to see it. So it doesn't mean that it's good or bad. It's on you. If you are in a place of tranquility and peace within yourself, that is what you're going to see outside. If you are in a state of confusion within yourself, then that's what you're going to see outside, confusion. I could sit there. This used to happen to me when it would rain. I used to hate the rain. I don't use that word very often. I just didn't like the rain. But it wasn't the rain, it was me. The rain reminded me of things because my birthday is in February and it's when it rains a lot, especially in California, and it would always be raining. And I just like, why on my birthday? I can't ever do anything fun because it's raining. So I held on to that for a long time. And until I learned to love myself and I learned about life through a different eye, I realized I love the rain. So was the rain bad or good or no? It was me. It's wherever I was. So it's the same thing in relationships. It's the same thing in anything you do in life. If you are confused, scared, upset, or you let your life be moved by what's happening on the outside, then that's controlling you. But if you,
I could say,
yeah, of course,
because you're controlling yourself by thinking that.
Yes. So if you're sitting here, and to me, this is beautiful, this is great, and it's amazing, but someone who probably suffers from different allergies can be out here going, oh, that smell, and then their eyes start watering. To them, being out here is not a good thing. So we're not here to tell you what is better, what is good, what it isn't. We just love to share our life and let you know that coming out into nature helps us, and we would love it to help you center, ground, and understand yourself a lot more. Look at nature and how it operates, and you'll see that that's how you operate on the inside. But it takes work, it takes dedication, and in the meantime, you still have to pay the bills and live life. So we're not telling you to let go of all of that, but give yourself at least once or twice a week that time to sit outside for a little bit and contemplate on how the colors, how the sky is blue, and why the plants look the way they do, and just enjoy the scent, the sounds of the birds, whatever it is that attracts you. If you are more of a learner from what you hear, what you feel, what you touch, just do that for yourself at least twice a week. And that's it. That's why Nature Gathering started. We would love for people to at least just enjoy that once or twice a week. Enjoy what we enjoy. Mm-hmm. We don't want to be selfish. We want everybody to be able to benefit from. This is actually our tree that we used to sit, and we used to look up at the branches. Just look at the branches, and they look like little neural connections of the brain. It looks like a brain structure. And that's what it is. There's intelligence in this tree.
And I'm not going to go into detail because it's just
Are we
amazing.
going to meditate today?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But
you
if
think?
you
You
look
wanna
at the
meditate,
if you look at the branches, and you see how they branch out, each just shares its intelligence. And they share its intelligence with the birds that come and nest on it. They share their intelligence with the bugs and the birds that come feed off of it. And that intelligence spreads different places. So nature is such a giving mechanism. But like Jesse said, it also takes. But what nature takes is what humanity enjoys. Because nature takes, again, like I said, the CO2. So taking is not a bad thing when it's in relationship to service. So
5-minute meditation? 5 minutes. 5 minutes, because then we're going to enjoy nature. We don't want to be on the phone all the time.
One thing that you said too, before we go into meditation, is when you awaken the senses, it's like when you juice, right? When you eat raw or when you juice, you'll start to discover that your tongue didn't know how to taste before. It's crazy. Like, unless you've experienced that, you think you know taste, but if you haven't detoxified the body, if you haven't started to awaken the senses of the tongue, because when you awaken the senses of the tongue, your eyes become a little more sharper, your ears become a little bit more refined. So we're just talking about just transforming your lifestyle of eating, and your tongue will start to be more sensitive to tastes, that it can taste the different tastes, because now it's more sensitive. So when you become more sensitive to yourself, you awaken senses that you never even could have dreamed you had. That's the Vibrillionaire lifestyle. That's what we mean by Vibrillions. That you have a whole world inside you that is waiting to come out. Like I said last week, a lot of people call that woohoo, fantasy, what is the other one? Magical, miracle. But let me tell you, that's our nature. Because we were destined, our birthright is to discover our divinity. And to share that divinity with each other, and to live that divinity now. Why wait? Don't wait for someday or some person or something to happen to awaken, remember your divinity. Because that's the same thing. Awaken, remember, it's the same thing. So when you remember more, just start contemplating. I'm divine. I'm divine. I'm not my name. Who is my name? You'll start to break that down, that even who you think you are is not who you are. Who do I think I am? Why do I think I am? What have I believed? What have I allowed myself to believe? Am I willing to believe something different? Am I willing, because this is the biggest one, am I willing to let go of all beliefs to just be present and listen to what comes through? To be sensitive, to awaken the senses within myself, because as a human society we've been desensitized, and that's why we are promoting nature, to become sensitive to ourselves. So be more sensitive. Be more sensitive to yourself. Enjoy being with yourself. Love yourself. Because that's what we're here to do. So let's just take a moment to breathe. Just breathe in this moment. Breathe in this blissful moment. Don't add anything to it. Don't take away anything. Just enjoy this moment. Take a deep breath. And drink in that breath. Internalize that breath. feel that breath. And just let everything go. Set the tone for this experience. Why are you being present with yourself? What is the purpose of being present with yourself? What is your focus? To discover your divinity, to uncover your divinity, to reveal your divinity, to remember your divinity, to experience, love, and live your divinity. Let everything else go. Focus on your divinity. If you don't know what that is, just focus on being present. Because really, even I don't know what that is. I have a thought, I have a belief, I have a perspective, but even then I must let go of that to awaken something deeper that cannot be awakened logically. It cannot be awakened with the physical senses. All senses must be dropped. And just be. And if you're new here, remember the training. Whenever a thought comes up, do not entertain the thought. Observe it, then love it, bless it, and let it go. Come back to your breath. Follow the breath. Let go of the breath into peace, into bliss, into presence, into life, living life, presence. And just be. And do that again, as many times as necessary. This is the mental training. This is the skill that we are developing to awaken presence. Doesn't matter how smart you think you are. Doesn't matter how privileged or unprivileged you've been taught. Doesn't matter what you have or you don't have. Everybody has presence. Doesn't matter what you've been through, what you haven't. Doesn't matter what you've done or you haven't. Nothing else matters. Presence. Just be. Just be. Just simply, profoundly be. And as we enjoy this moment of being, I would love to remind you of something that we've forgotten, is that we are all expert meditators. We've just forgotten to meditate on the most fundamental, the most profound, important component is us. We've meditated on everything else. We continue to be expert meditators on so many things. Whether we work, whether we play, whether we sleep, whether we love, whether we have challenges, whether we have accomplishments. Everybody meditates. We're all expert meditators. Use that skill to awaken you. Meditate on you. Love you. Be genuinely you. And you will thank you later. This is just the beginning of the beginning of the beginning. And enjoy. We're awakening, we are exercising, we are affirming a great skill of being, which is our heart presence. Enjoy your day. Enjoy loving, living, being you. Everything else will remind you of you. Sometimes it'll remind you of the greatness of you through beautiful moments and experiences. Other times it will remind you of you in the challenges and the resistance and the setbacks that are here to remind you how powerful you are. Everything is reminding you of you. Remember. Take the time to remember. Blessings.